Howdy folks, thank you for joining me on what's about to become a very educational walk around of the 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLS. And the reason I wanted to do this, now we're not able to drive this quite yet. This is actually the European version. But I wanted to show you guys this vehicle because it is one of my favorites Mercedes is building. It's not electrical. It's proper gas, baby. As a matter of fact, there's several different types. If you look over there, you're going to see its cousins. There's a Maybach, and there's, of course, a AMG. And we'll be talking about that as well. But I wanted to talk about this vehicle specifically because there have been some upgrades. Starts with the grille. This little smoked out thing going on over here, which is kind of a darkened chrome, I guess you would call it. This is new. Headlight design has been upgraded as well, so that's new. Same with the taillights. The overall front end design will help you distinguish it between the previous model. However, honestly, from a distance, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference. But there is one place where there is a bit of a difference. And allow me to pop El Hoodo and I will explain. It's kind of funny, the car yells at you. You're opening my hood? It's actually German car, so of course they're going to yell at you. I wanted to point out something impressive. Okay. Now, there are a couple different versions of the GLS. So you can get the GLS 450, which has 375 horsepower before you add the boost, which gives you an extra 20 horsepower briefly, or the GLS 500, that gives you 510 horsepower and gives you 21 extra horsepower with the boost. Boost gives you just a quick squeeze of extra power when you really push down, and that's about it. But the good news is that it allows you to do so. Now, the other powertrains that they have available are not upgraded, so your AMG is still ridiculously powerful by turbo. Of course, the Maybach is ridiculously powerful as well, but they are not upgraded for this year. Another thing about this engine that you guys may not know is that this is a hybrid, 48-volt architecture hybrid. It's actually very efficient, and it's hooked up to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this does have all-wheel drive. Overall, the system in the past has created some of the most efficient vehicles in their class, or nearly the most efficient vehicles in the class, despite the fact that they weigh as much as a small moon. Very important. Let's have a look at the interior. Ooh, there's a funk. Whoa. Let's come on in and have a seat. And there was a very short German who was sitting in the seat before I got here. But the good news, look at the door. Proper seat controls. Oh, the best in the world. I don't know why Mercedes stopped using this and went to this other system where you just touch and things move, whereas in these things don't. So in this car, when you touch the components, the seat actually does something. See, you pull. See how this is actually on an actuator? Yeah. But I didn't come here to complain, for the most part. I came here to show you this. Check out this screen. So the screen, right here, and then a second screen right here. And then on top of that, there's an additional pane that goes across the two of them, which, if I was able to turn the car on, would be awesome for you guys to look at. But unfortunately, they took the keys, and I think they're off to Stuttgart. So the good news here is that the rest of the switchgear remains Mercedes cool, meaning, of course, usable. I love the fact that you are able to actually use toggle switches. This is great. And you can actually feel them actuate. I think that's huge. You are able, of course, to control the heating and air conditioning here. And then, of course, touchpad. Now, guys, I'm curious to what your input is on this. The touchpad, which directly interfaces with this infotainment screen, some people like them and some people hate them. This doesn't do anything. This is just a rest for your hand, so don't think of this as the old Lexus style one. But I do think of this as the old Lexus style one. And yeah, I mean, it does have an action, it does have feedback, so to speak, and of course it allows you to move your finger around and do stuff. Not a huge fan. I think that there are other systems out there that are a little bit more intuitive. However, it does work relatively well when you're stationary. When you're on the road, I notice that you have to kind of look down in order to kind of figure out what you're doing versus what's on the screen. Better just to have steering wheel and screen touch points, which makes things easier. Another fortunate thing, more toggle switches here. I love this. Thank you, Mercedes-Benz. This is nice. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but for the most part, I still find this to be one of the better interiors in the class. This color, by the way, is new. Look at this luxurious stitching. So nice. Feels fantastic. Oh, and the steering wheels are all new this year, too. By new, I mean updated. And I will show you guys the steering wheels in the other vehicles as well. In fact, we're going to take a little walk in just a second. But I wanted to show you this and let you know that there are upgrades. Yay. There are updates. Yay. It's not an all-new vehicle, not even close. We will be driving other Mercedes vehicles here in the South in the very near future. Actually, today, shortly after you guys watch this video, probably we're going to be out there on the road. Let's have a look at the ones that are outside, though. Let me show you something. Over here, we have the AMG. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Okay, it's a bi-turbo V8 and it's hooked up to 4MATIC. Yeah, that's enough. Let me open the hood, I'll explain. Over here, I'm just going to pop open this little hood. Did you notice the 23-inch wheels? I know that in the prior video when I was giving you guys a little sneak peek with these, that some of you guys are like, 23-inch wheels and they're all black? Oh, I hate. You know what? I think I would agree on the color, but the sheer size of them, the ridiculousness in itself is insane. Although, yeah, I agree. I think because they're all black, they just almost look like hubcaps. But I've seen them in other colors and they're kind of awesome. So the AMG version of the vehicle has over 603 horsepower, which gets a 21 horsepower bump when you hit boost, 627 pound-feet of torque, hooked up to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And yes, this does have the 47-volt architecture hybrid system in it as well, meaning that despite the fact that this thing is one of the fastest SUVs in its class. Yes, I know there's electric ones that are quicker. I would say that with the all-wheel drive system in this, its overall weight distribution, the wheel and tire combination, I bet that around a track, because it doesn't suffer the same issues that electric SUVs do, that this thing would kill anything it went up against. One of the things that a lot of you guys have talked about in the past is the fact that electric SUVs, and I'm talking about Rivian and whatnot, they're great, but when you throw them around a corner, they are really, really heavy. And all that extra weight, well, you have to have a sacrifice somewhere. So on a track at least, or going down a mountain road, I would much rather have something like this AMG. I wanted to show you one quick thing on the Maybach before we go, which, by the way, has had some upgrades as well. Check it out. Front end is more luxurious because Maybach everywhere right there. In case you didn't know what it was, you're going to know. So this is technically a GLS 600. Super, super powerful and everything else, like it was before. But as I said, some upgrades. So the grille's upgraded, headlights are upgraded as well, and I already showed you this. But I wanted to show you this. Check it out. Ready? Look down there. Maybach! That's... You're not going to forget what you are in. Oh, by the way, have a look at this section right here. Piano black finish. That, which was exclusive to Maybach, is now available in other Mercedes vehicles. So you can get that type of finish, or a very similar one, I should say, in vehicles like this in the very near future. And I got that directly from Mercedes. So there you go. It's pretty nice, no? Honestly speaking, it's the AMG or even the regular one that really get me going, because this one is costs more than my house. But that also is the fact that you're getting a Maybach, which is just really nice. Oh, in case you were wondering, yes, this is where Roman would sit as he yells at his servants to drive him. He also yells at small puppy dogs, and he gets angry when grass isn't growing fast enough. But that's what this interior is all about. It's about ruling the roads from the backseat, because it's Maybach. I just love this step. It's kind of a mix of things, because it's like you're stepping on the brand name, you know what I mean? But you still get a really cool oversized step, which is kind of unnecessary for regular sized people, but you have a little tiny person getting into the car, having that massive step is going to matter quite a bit. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. Stay tuned in the very near future, and you're going to see driving impressions with other Mercedes products that we will be driving in the South. I'll see ya.